Well, hello, my first grade friends, and welcome back to Library Class at Home with Mr. S. We are at the end of the year. This is the last full week. How exciting is that? So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Monday again, and then that's it. We're off on summer vacation.
Woo-hoo.
As you can see from, yeah, right? Woohoo! As you can see from my background, I'm already on summer vacation. Anyway, we're going to read the rest of my Big Fat Zombie Goldfish. We have one more chapter in part 1, and then we're going to start in part 2 right away. The last chapter of part 1 is called Chapter 14, Zombie Sleepover. So here we go. Mom raced back from over Pradeep's house. "Okay, boys, thanks for looking after Mark." She winked at me and ruffled my hair. "You can act very grown up sometimes, can't you? When you put your mind to it." Frankie splashed in his watering can. "I think we should get Frankie back into his bowl for the night," I said. "He's had enough air." Pradeep's mom said, "You can have your dinner there and then sleep over. It might be best. You never know how long the hospital will take. Remember when you had a concussion from running into that door? Why is it always my boys?" She shook her head. "Come on, Mark." She helped him up from the sandbox and took him to the car. He was still talking about the fish being out to get him. Mom just nodded. "Oh, and Mark," I yelled at him as Mom was pulling out of the drive. "Don't worry about the pictures for your experiment. We'll take some good ones for you." The last thing I saw as Mom rounded the corner toward the hospital was Mark banging on the back window, mouthing the words, "No, no." Pradeep and I went in to get Frankie's goldfish bowl from upstairs, washed it out, and then headed over to Pradeep's house for the night. We decided that Frankie deserved a sleepover too, and Sammy wanted to play with him again. After dinner, we got into our pajamas and had the marshmallow popcorn earths with the white chocolate melting ice caps, and we took a lot of cool pictures of Frankie. Mom phoned Pradeep's house to say that she was staying with Mark because the doctors wanted to keep him overnight so they could keep an eye on him. I told Mom to make sure it wasn't a very big eye if they could help it. He is my big brother after all, and I think from now on he'll probably go back to being just mostly evil. As long as Frankie's around, my big fat zombie goldfish friend and bodyguard. When Pradeep's mom put Sammy to bed, Pradeep and I got out our sleeping bags and told each other scary zombie stories. Telling scary stories is one of the top things about sleepovers. But the top thing about sleepovers now is if we scare ourselves too much, we've always got a zombie goldfish nightlight to make everything seem brighter and a bit green. How cool is that? And that, boys and girls, is the end of part 1 of my Big Fat Zombie Goldfish. Now, we're going to go right into part 2. Now, part 2 is about when they go to school. There are 13 chapters, so I'm going to read a couple of them each day. But today I'm only going to read you chapter 1. Chapter 1, or part 2, is called Rules of the School. And the first chapter is called Chapter 1, The Evil Computer Genius. So here we go. You know how your voice sounds different when you're doing different stuff? Like when you have a running voice, or a jumping voice, or a stuck in a pretzel shape because you tried to fit inside a tiny box voice? Well, I heard Pradeep shouting outside this morning, and he definitely had an upside down voice. "I'm a moron and you're a genius," he mumbled. I looked out of the kitchen window as I filled up Frankie's plastic bag in the sink, and there was Pradeep, hanging upside down off the jungle gym. "Louder, moron," Sanjay ordered, sitting on top of Pradeep's feet and dangling him off the metal railing. "And can you please articulate?" "I'm a moron and you're a genius," Pradeep shouted, without mumbling this time. "Come on, Frankie, it's a code red situation. Pradeep's in trouble," I said, scooping Frankie out of the sink and into his bag. We ran into the yard. "Good," Sanjay said, letting go of Pradeep's feet. Pradeep slid through the monkey bars and splattered onto the grass. "Ah, look, your little moron friend has come to help," Sanjay said as he jumped down from the jungle gym. "And he's brought his pet fish with him. How sad is that? The ugly little kid has an ugly little pet." He smiled a creepy, evil smile at Frankie. Frankie desperately headbutted the side of the bag, trying to get out. His eyes lost their normal goldfish stare and instead glowed a bright, angry green. He was in full zombie attack mode. Pathetic moron, Sanjay said to himself as he strode off down the road. I went over to Pradeep. Are you okay? Pradeep was rubbing his head. Yeah. Frankie thrashed in his bag and glared down the road after Sanjay. Wow, he normally does that when he sees Mark, I said. He's still holding a grudge over the whole Mark trying to murder him with toxic sludge and flush him down the toilet thing. But I think Frankie has just added Sanjay to his hit list too. Pradeep bent down to talk to Frankie. Look, I'm okay, nothing broken. He turned to me. At least I'm taller now, so when Sanjay drops me, I don't have to fall so far. That's true, I nodded. It had been about 6 months since Pradeep's brother Sanjay last dropped Pradeep off the jungle gym. He'd been away at some boarding school for the gifted, which just sounded like a great place to go to school. Sanjay had always been a genius, but yesterday he became an actual evil computer genius when he got kicked out of the school for the gifted. He hacked into its super encrypted, unhackable computer system and changed all the other kids' grades to 0 and his grades to 1 gazillion. Now I know what you're thinking. A real-life, actual evil computer genius living next door to a real-life, actual evil scientist like my big brother Mark. What are the odds? Well, Pradeep figured it out yesterday afternoon. It's 7,344,623 to 1, which is about the same odds as winning 5 lotteries all at once and having the prize money delivered to you by a team of bicycle-riding chimpanzees. At least that's what Pradeep told me. He found the answer on the internet. Anyway, Pradeep's brother Sanjay has a real IQ certificate to prove he's an actual genius. He used to make us look at the piece of paper a lot when he first got it. And just to make sure we really saw it, he used to press our faces against it on the floor while he sat on us. He doesn't need a certificate to prove he was mostly evil. We knew that already. I grabbed my backpack and carefully packed Frankie inside, placing his bag in the bottom of a Tupperware box. You're bringing Frankie to school? Pradeep said. I can't leave him at home after all, he got green-eyed and thrashy with Sanjay. He might break out and zombie someone. What if Mom saw him like that? Or Mark came home early? You see, the last time they were home alone together, Mark tried to deep freeze Frankie. Luckily, I found him pretty quickly when I used the ice dispenser on the fridge and got a zombie fish cube. You know, I don't actually think Frankie minded the freezer that much. He just didn't like being next to the fish fingers. Trust me, Pradeep, I said as we headed off down the road towards school. Frankie is safer with us today. And that, boys and girls, is the end of Chapter 1 of Part 2. Do you think Frankie's safer with them at school? I don't know. A lot of crazy stuff seems to be happening in the first part of this story. Pradeep's got an evil genius brother, just like the kid Tom did. So I suppose Pradeep's got his own problems to deal with his brother. And Frankie the Goldfish seems pretty mad at Pradeep's brother. So we're going to find out what happens in Chapter 2, 3, and 4 tomorrow. So check back with me tomorrow for another great story. And you know what? We only have a full week of school left. And next Monday, I'm going to do a different kind of video. I'd like to answer some of your questions that you might have. You can ask me a question about how I make my videos, or what my house likes, or what my family does, or how I pick the books that I pick, or what books I think would be good for you for the summer. You can feel free to ask me anything. Just leave me a question on my Google Classroom page, and I will answer it next Monday. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you can leave me a question at this address, this email address. That's my school address, so you can leave me any questions you might have. And again, I'm going to read through them for the week, and I'll pick some good ones and answer them on Monday. Thank you very much, boys and girls. I'll see you guys tomorrow.